Hi, my name is Emily Callaway, and for my final project, the topic I will be discussing is technological advancements, specifically on how it affects the deaf community and deaf individuals as a whole. Some important things to note about technological advancements is that the quality of life for deaf individuals is far better now than at any other time in history, with them now benefiting from technological advancements, anti discrimination laws, and cultural pluralism. Deaf individuals are the most prevalent group of individuals who use technology tools to communicate with one another and embrace tools that can potentially help in reducing barriers and increasing their access. Provides many solutions towards effective living, and it is often seen as positive, but technology can also cause some new issues and challenges for communities. These issues and challenges bring a devastating and negative consequence with it, which often can be exacerbated when these solutions are imposed by individuals that are outside of the deaf community. In the deaf community, many have different takes and ideas on the topic of technology, mainly around how it should be used in order to make their lives better as a deaf individual. Mainly, they will focus on technology solutions that will maximize their visual orientation. Many individuals who are hearing often look at deafness as a debilitating disability, with their main goal being to find a solution or cure to prevent people from suffering from hearing loss. They often are trying to fix, cure, even eliminate deafness as a whole. Though there is no cure for deafness, there have been assistive hearing devices that have been invented that are considered to be the next best thing. These devices are known as hearing aids and cochlear implants. Hearing aids and cochlear implants for deaf or hard of hearing individuals to receive any benefits from these devices, they're required to go through many years of intensive therapy. Those with the cochlear implant specifically, once they receive it, they will then have to learn and be taught how to understand and listen to speech. And hearing aids and cochlear implants for many users are not able to function or pass as hearing, even after they receive intensive therapy. This often leads to these individuals learning sign language and ultimately becoming a member of the deaf community in order to learn their ways of effective living. There are many devices that have been made for the deaf community and devices that have been made that are widely used in deaf households. For example, some deaf specific technology are teletypewriters, deaf-friendly door knocker, video remote interpreting through video relay services, and video remote interpreting. Some other devices that are widely used in deaf households are light signaling systems, subtitles, video messaging, and speech to text applications. Teletypewriters are known as TTY. Uh, Back in the 1950s, when telephones had become widespread, it caused deaf people to be left out of the loop. So some deaf engineers came up with the telephone coupler, which allowed deaf people to use teletypewriters to make it possible for deaf people to communicate directly with each other by typing messages back and forth. And as you can see at the bottom of this slide, I included a picture of a teletypewriter, and you can see that it looks like a computer and a phone all in one. The next device is a deaf-friendly door knocker. Some Gallaudet students back in the late 1800s created a system to allow them to know when visitors were at their door in their dorms. It was created by placing a heavy cast iron weight tied to a chain by each dorm room door. The visitor would pull and let go of the weight, thereby creating a vibration of the floor. This would alert the resident to know to answer the door. Since this invention, many deaf households have doorbell and visual baby alert light systems. Video relay services, known as VRS. This is a piece of technology that allows deaf people to use the phone just like everyone else can. Due to the availability of video phones and the support of professional interpreters on screen to facilitate communication with a non signer. This service does not cost anything for the user to use due to the Americans with Disabilities Act, known as the ADA, and the Federal Communication Commission, known as the FCC. But this free service is limited to conversations via phone calls. And down below on this slide, you will see I included an image of how the video relay service works. So you can see the deaf caller is talking to the hearing caller, but it's being interpreted via interpreter. And it's vice versa. So the deaf person talks to the sign language interpreter, who translates to the hearing caller. Hearing caller talks to the sign language interpreter. They interpret to the deaf caller, and so forth. Video remote interpreting, known as VRI. This service is available, but with a fee, to support live meetings. The access to VRI and VRS provides deaf people with access to interpreters 24/7, anytime and anywhere. This is very helpful because it provides them with an interpreter even when their local interpreter may not be available for them. With this technology, it has made it much easier for deaf people to advance in workplaces and access medical services, and to connect with family and friends who do not sign via the VRI and the VRS. Light signaling systems, these are known as alerting systems. These systems alert those who are deaf or hard of hearing by using lights, high-frequency sounds, and vibrating notifications that work by way of traditional alarms. These systems can be used for alarm clocks, doorbells, door knocks, phone calls, baby monitors, weather alerts, motion detectors, and smoke alarms. The next piece of technology is subtitles. The ADA mandated that television shows need to be accessible for deaf people by having all programs fully captioned. Now, deaf individuals are able to watch any program or event on television that they would like. Video messaging technology, this is things such as FaceTime, Marco Polo, and Glide. These platforms are available to everyone, meaning both hearing and deaf, but it is very popular among deaf individuals. It allows deaf individuals to be able to send and receive video messages using ASL instead of having to text using English. This gives deaf individuals an ease of using this technology. It has even promoted an increase in globalization of the deaf community and sign language, as deaf people from all over the world connect with each other on a regular basis using these apps. And down below on this slide, you can see I've included images of what these apps look like. On the far left, you have Marco Polo. In the middle, you have FaceTime. And on the right, you have Glide. Speech-to-text applications. These can be found on smartphones. It's able to automatically recognize and translate spoken English into text when a person speaks to the phone. This application allows for deaf individuals to understand what hearing people are saying clearly, while also allowing the deaf person to be able to speak or type their message all on their phone. This application has helped in reducing communication difficulties between both deaf and hearing individuals, all within many situations. For instance, last minute or impromptu exchanges with a salesperson, a neighbor, or a repair person, and so forth is very helpful to have. And now I'm going to talk about how mainstream technology reduces communication barriers. So with the mainstream use of technology such as emails and texting, it has helped to reduce communication barriers. This places deaf and hearing individuals on an equal playing field, with communication obstacles being minimized or eliminated, and there are also attitudinal barriers that are removed. And not knowing the hearing status of a deaf person in the interaction eliminates the prospect of the deaf individuals being treated any differently by hearing people, meaning that discrimination or prejudice against a deaf person wouldn't happen because it is not known whether that individual is deaf or not. Now we're going to talk about how technology provides resources remotely now. So due to technology, deaf people are no longer having to relocate in order to keep in contact with other deaf people, meaning deaf people can choose to live wherever they desire, though this has caused for many local deaf communities to see a loss of resources in things like deaf clubs, deaf churches, and so forth. And they're having to close things down due to the dwindling numbers of members. And lastly, the relationship between technology and society. Technology has transformed the way in which both people live their lives, which we see significantly within the deaf community. With deaf people typically embracing technology innovation, it has transformed the way in which they live their day to day lives. It's important to acknowledge that technology has provided many benefits, but it has also created many new challenges. But this PowerPoint was made in hopes to highlight how technology has provided the deaf community with ways to live more efficiently. And I hope that this PowerPoint highlighted how technology has benefited the deaf community and has provided them with many ways of effective living. Though I did address some challenges that they face with technology, such as hearing aids and cochlear implants, I mainly wanted to focus on informing those of the devices that have been created to help deaf individuals live this effective lifestyle and how it's creating this movement of access to deaf peers and so forth. Here is my sources, and thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed my PowerPoint. I need to figure out how to get out of this.